sense?
Yes.
Alright. Remember we had the picture of the 4 circles?
Yes.
Fourfold division.
Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Vasudeva.
Exactly. Now, in trying to understand how to reach these points, these places in the universe, we have mantra. So what are we doing? We're again discussing Shabda Brahma. The Shabda itself, the sound. Now, the Suddha Sattva. What is Suddha Sattva or Shuddha Sattva? It refers to that level of purity, yes, of any of these 4 forms, or 3 forms to start with. The Shuddha portion is that portion which is the initial Narayan state. Shuddha Amrit. It's not down here. It's not created. It is that which happened even before Vasudeva came into being. So all these states of Suddha Sattva, Suddha Rajas and Suddha Tamas, they are these initial states like we talked of, what we talked of the Devi. Neela Shakti, Bhu Shakti, Shri Shakti. These are the states we're referring to. Okay? These are useful. They're very useful. You can overcome serious issues in your gunas by using these bija. Because you're asking your gunas to go to its initial pure state. Understand? So this is very useful. And we do this through the guna bijas, and through the guna bijas added to Aum, we attain this initial state. Okay? I'll describe some mantras in a minute. In fact, not everything is anyway. Okay. So, for example, did you know that Shri refers to Sattva Guna? Like in Shri Shakti, Lakshmi, Sattva Guna. Now, if we add Aum to Shri, we get Shraum. Can you say that with me? Shraum. 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 Nice. Reem is that which overcomes Rajas. Reem overcomes Rajas. And if you add it to Aum, you get that state of Suddha Rajas. Hraum.
Haram.
Hraum. 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 Nice. Similarly, Cream represents the Suddha Tamas. Cream is Kali Bija, right? So Kali Bija is that state which is overcoming Tamas. To reach Suddha Tamas, we use Crown. 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 Very nice. The mixture of all 3 is Shri, Reem, Cream. You may know these from our tradition. We use them a lot. We use them in a different order though. Reem, Shreem, Cream. Or Reem, Shreem, Kleem. We'll discuss this later. So, as a result of which, when we reach these states, we can say that this Suddha Rajas is the Parama Brahma. That Brahma which was there before Vasudeva came into being. The Suddha Brahma, you can even say. But it's Param Brahma. So when you're saying this Jyotish Bija, for you to learn Jyotish, you're also worshipping the Param Brahma and overcoming all Rajas. Ram. Very nice picture. Ram. Similarly, Parama Vishnu is Shraum. And Parama Shiva is Kraum. Vasudeva is Aum plus the 3 Guna Bija. So all 4, Aum plus these 3, is Vasudeva. I need to explain something more to you. Next slide. Unmanifested, that is Suddha. Unmanifested is Suddha. Vasudeva with Sattva and Rajas. Now, why is this even important? That state which was there in the 4 lokas before these 3 were created is this. Aum plus Hreem and Shreem. Okay, so we have mantras for each state. Remember that big chakra there? We had first 4, and then one of those portions was divided into 2. So this is that unmanifest portion. Vasudeva. Manifestation occurs with 3 guna. That means all 3, sattva, rajas, tamas, in that order of rajas, sattva and tamas. See, we have Om. Hey, what happened here? Om became Om. Oops. That's right. This is manifest, this is unmanifest. That's right. So Om, Hrim, Shrim, Krim.
What's that?
What the order is?
Yeah.
Parampara order, traditions order, because it's the order of creation. Om, Hrim, Shrim, Krim. We can also do Om, Hlim, Shlim, Klim.
Why is one arrow going down and one going up? That's right.
Because when you add a Ra, you are making yourself strong enough and pure enough to go up to God. When you say La, instead, you are admitting to yourself that you're not strong enough, God must come down to you, so you can go up. God, throw me a rope, or God, here I come. Alright? That's the difference between La and Ra. That's why when we said Rishi Bijas, it's either R or L. One of the two. And they manifest like this, Ra and La. That's why Ra and La added to mantras so that we can go to God. Either we go up or we bring God down. Both are legitimate ways of worship. Even in other religions they do this. It's a whole philosophy. There are parts of Christianity which choose one of these paths. You don't have to link to a certain religion, just choose one. How will you choose? The mantra will choose for you. The mantras you will do will have these bijas. Okay? This Hrim, Shrim, Klim is the basis for Hare Rama Krishna. Tradition. We make some slight changes in the bijas sometimes. That's about it. I'll describe those bijas again in a different context so you can understand why we say Hrim, Shrim, Klim in some mantras and not Krim. I will show that to you. But no. Any questions about this? Now you have mantras for each of those states. Each of those states. You have that big table, you can put in the bijas in those portions. How do you do it? Draw a box. Okay? Then divide it into 4 boxes. Then you put Kraum where? In Nila Shakti portion. Raum in Bhu Shakti portion. Shraum in Shri Shakti portion. Then you add Om Hrim Shrim in that portion of Vasudeva which is unmanifest. Then you add Om Hrim Shrim Krim in that portion which is manifest. And you choose, say you can also have this variation. Then you have all the mantras. Let us say, I'm a young man. Am I young? I'm a young man. Okay, I can still do it. Okay. And I say, I want to purify my rajas so that I will think less about the opposite sex. Yes? Yes, like Dennis, he has his laptop with him. We never know what he's looking at.
I'm willing to sit next to you if you really want to see what I'm looking at.
Alright, it's just a joke. Now, so, let's say I want to overcome some of those tendencies. Even women want to do that. Let's say you're married and you think, Jesus Christ, all these guys are running after me. Too much. So, what do? You take an image, let's say, of a pretty person, somebody who's very attractive, and then you look at it and you say, Halaum, Halaum, Halaum,
What is Halaum?
Halaum, what?
Halaum.
Halaum is, Halaum is this with an L. Halaum. Okay, you can also do Hraum. You can try Hraum also, that's also useful. Hraum. And then what mantra will you say? This is for Brahma, right? Param Brahmane Nama. Halaum Param Brahmane Nama. You keep doing that, the mind will reprogram itself. So if you can do that with Rajas, you can do with any guna. You can correct your gunas with this.
And it's like a 40-day commitment like we normally do.
Who said? Till you're corrected. You'll know. use this. Correct the gunas. The gunas, okay? They don't bother you anymore. They don't trouble you anymore. Let's say you take the tamas guna. You want to correct tamas guna with Shiva. Crown Parama Shivaya Namah. Or clown Parama Shivaya Namah. Okay? Let's say you do that. Pain does not bother you anymore. You don't feel you're suffering anymore. Hmm? You can take a distance towards pain, suffering, illness, everything, no problems. Your body is not giving you so many hassles. You're able to stay healthy. Your mind is staying healthy, that's why your body is staying healthy. Gunas are just corrected. How about this Shravan Bija? How about this?
Vishnu.
There are
And
flaws
maintain.
in our Sattva-guna for sure.
What?
We do have flaws in Sattva-guna for
Every
sure.
guna has a flaw?
Yeah.
It is. So what happens? You are less interested in, oh, let's all go out for coffee together. Oh, let's go out and party. You know, Maya comes home, she sits and she opens her computer, is about to write her book, you know, or answer all those emails. And then her friends come over and distract her, and then what happened? Vishti is emailing, hey, you said you'd send that article. Why did you send that article? Oh, I went out for coffee. You know, all this week I had no time, and when the time I had, I went out for coffee, partying. Okay? Shravan, you correct that desire. Okay?
Desire.
Yes, you see, the desire for some type of enjoyment is coming from Shravan. Ram, we think is it, but this is the need. Shravan is that when you're in that state, you enjoy. It's like when you're eating very good food, you're very happy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
I like debating with you, so I'm just gonna
Hey, come on.
drop a little shell here. The problem with correcting Rajogun is that we're all born out of Rajogun.
Yes.
So if we all go around being like 99% sattvic all the time,
Yes.
then the whole concept of creation and procreation stops.
Uh-huh. God
Because
doesn't need you to create anything.
but God creates through you, yes or no?
Yes, but He doesn't need you.
Oh, you mean so that we'll start having immaculate conceptions?
All right.
Fine. Then that's it.
If you want, fine. God doesn't need you to create anything.
Okay.
You have to make a decision, that's all. But if you do this haram or haram, it doesn't mean you will not want to have kids or anything anymore. It just doesn't bother you anymore. That's all.
Oh, that's part of it. Okay,
Yeah.
then that's clarification.
It just doesn't bother you. You
So
don't
it's
think
not
about
the Rajogun or the Tamogun in itself. It's just the level of botheration with this goes down.
You can say that, yes.
Because you can never step out of the gunas. The moment you are incarnated, you have gunas.
You can be free from them, so they do not hinder you in any way. Why should they hinder you doing your karma? Right?
Yeah.
If it's your karma to have a child, good. But why must it hinder you in your life? That's the problem. A person who has serious drug addiction, that's a hindrance. In a person who's having a drug addiction, their only cause of concern is when they're going to get their next, you know.
Guruji, the misconception among many
So was that
astrologers.
tamas or
What do you think? Tamas or Rajas? How about Sattva? Addiction is Rajas. Addiction is Rajas.
You know, my only point of contention is that among many astrologers and so-called spiritual people, there is this desire to all the time eliminate desire itself. But first off, that's a desire in itself. Secondly, it's a fact that we're all born out of desire. If even the devas and devis did not desire each other, nothing would happen.
I totally agree.
So
This level that we're working here is not to say stop you from being the next great businessman or astrologer, because if it's good for your karma to do so, it's good. The problem is that your problem is not the desire to be a businessman. Your problem is that which is hindering you to be that. Right?
if that's what I want, of course.
If you do any of these, let's say you do haram or haram, it's not going to hinder you from doing good karma. You will do beautiful karma. You will do something great for the world. In fact, you'll be less distracted by the other things in the world. That's the problem. You become good people with this. You will still have desires, yes. But they're good desires. You know? A desire of an astrologer to write a book about astrology is a desire. It's the other desires which distract him from doing that.
Yes, because that's also Rajogun.
Yeah.
In fact, you want to sit down and write something, it's also
Yes.
Rajogun.
But there is also good Rajaguna.
Yes.
This removes the negatives of Rajasguna. This removes the negatives of Sattva-guna and negatives of Tama-guna. The negatives are what we are concerned with, not the positives. Good question. Damn good question. Yeah. I mean, I want Maya to get married. It doesn't mean that
We all
being
do.
around is bad. Okay? I also want the same for Sunday.
And me.
And Dennis is getting married anyway. He's like on the road to get married. No problem. None of these beaches will hinder that at all. These are good beaches. Okay? So. Any questions?